I do what I wanna do, whenever I wanna do.
Alright, what's up everybody? This is Josh here from Zebra's Food with Singapore Kane from Boston. Gotta ask you.
Zebra is food, you know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers is lions. Zebras is food. You dudes is food and we're ready to eat. We're hungry. Savages.
Right. Coast to coast, baby.
Straight up.
First off, gotta ask you, what's in the name? Why do you call yourself Singapore Kane?
I actually used the term in a metaphor one time when I was flowing. And cats didn't know what my name was. I didn't even really have a name. But I overheard someone say, yo, that Singapore Kane dude was ill. And you know what I'm saying? And it kind of just stuck. I'm all about lyricism, you know what I mean? Like being competitive on tracks, friendly competition, you know what I mean? Just ration over tracks. That's what I do.
Everybody at this point knows that you hail from Boston.
No doubt.
Kane.
Born and raised.
Boston, you know, we've always kind of been a bit of an underdog in the hip-hop arena.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder being a rapper from Boston? Like you have something extra to prove? Given how difficult it's been for Boston artists to have kind of jump into that mainstream success?
The way I approach it, you know, I'm just a child of the universe, you know what I'm saying? It just so happens I was born in Boston. You know, I'm an MC, I'm a poet. You know, I don't really let the machine define the levels of success or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already look at myself as a success and it's just only going to get better. You know, just in due time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the spotlight will be on us, you know?
Lately, though, hard to argue with Bean's hip-hop scene, frankly, just blowing up with artists like Terminology, Static Selecta. You think this wave of success is going to carry Singapore up too?
Absolutely. I absolutely believe that I will ride along the wave as well as be one of the forerunners of it. Now I'm ready to do it, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to carry the torch and be one of the MCs from Boston to bring back lyricism, you know what I'm saying, and subject matter and dope beats and things of that sort, you know what I mean? And I'm from Boston, so it's just going to be real dope.
Absolutely. And I've heard someone say that with smooth flow, I mean, you've got maybe the most potential for commercial success out of any artist in Boston.
Well, I'm cranking the tunes out right now. Planet Singapore is a hit factory. We ain't trying to do nothing whack here. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
One thing that you get from Singapore, it'll be some dope lyrics, it'll be some dope beats, and it'll be some subject matters, you know, some topics.
The rhymes always seem to have something to say, you know, not just your everyday lyrics.
I like to put some thought into it, you know, even if it's just something that, a track that's not even meant to be super lyrical, just something that we're just gonna have fun on. I still want to get lyrical with it in a way that, you know, that will make you remember it, you know what I'm saying? I
know that you mentioned poetry a lot, you dropped the word poetry a lot. I've read that you were writing poetry in grade school.
Absolutely.
So what kind of poems did you write back in the day, and how has this poetic background influenced the rhymes that you're spitting these days? I
would write about pretty much the same stuff I'm writing about now. Like, why is the world the way it is? Like, why does racism exist? And like, why was I born, like, poor in the city? Like, why do the police harass, you know what I'm saying, like, minorities and things like that? Like, I would just write poems about it, and, you know, people were like, yo, this is some deep stuff you're saying, you know what I mean? Like, this is real. And just me as a kid, just looking at life, like, why is life like this? You know, and I think as time went on, I just kind of progressed. Like, I'm just an older poet now. You know, I always considered my music street poetry.
Well, you can definitely hear that in the lyrics too. There's definitely some heavy philosophical elements to some of the songs, and thought-provoking.
Socrates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aristotle, Plato.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Singapore.
There's also a strong reggae influence in your work, obviously, stemming from your pops, local reggae legend Danny Tucker. How strong would you say the impact of reggae on your music is? I mean, sometimes you can really hear it, other times it's more subtle. Do you see it as kind of the foundation for your music, or as more of an influence that you incorporate into your music?
Like, before I even could write a verse to like a hip-hop beat, like, I was going with my father, you know what I'm saying? Like, like he had a band, and I would be rapping to what they were playing. So, like, I'm learning how to rap over reggae. Reggae definitely is a big influence on what I do, especially being a Jamaican myself. You know, spending mad time on the island as a kid and as an adult.
Did you ever perform in Jamaica at all?
Absolutely. I've never been to Sunsplash or Sting, and you know, it is, you know, my dream to one day go down to Sting, go to Sunsplash. You know, all the reggae artists that I idolized and looked up to performed at Sunsplash, and I want to be a rapper performing at Sunsplash, and I will be. I'll be there.
You also used to get up on stage with your dad, I heard, when you were younger. That had to be a good influence on your stage presence, had to help you develop that early on.
Yeah, well, it made me, you know, not scared, you know, to be in front of people. It just made it more natural. I've been on stage since I was like 4 or 5, just standing on the side of the stage, just watching my dad do his thing, and then he'll just pull me out, and then everybody would just be like all eyes on me. And like, there's not enough time in the world, yo. You know what I'm saying? To be on stage. You know, especially when the crowd is into it. And even if they're not into it, it just makes me even want to just work even harder. Like, yo, this is some dope shit.
It's kind of a refreshing perspective. That's good to hear.
Hey, man, you know, I'll perform in front of 5 people or 5,000. I've been to shows in Boston where it was just a couple of motherfuckers and the waitresses and the bartenders, you know what I mean? And it was just like, whatever. We here to rock.